Good afternoon, solar YouTubers. Today is Saturday, April the 11th of 26. It is 6:29. Just got done doing a video, but it led to places I didn't want it to lead to, so there we go. So everything got charged today. I had this got fully charged. I had the VEVOR running off the solar and battery all day. I got now on the UPS, so it's running off the grid. And then if the grid goes down, then it's going to be the battery or solar, whatever. So on my 200 watt panel, I brought in 760 watts. That's not bad off of 200 watts. And then I did, I ran my washing machine today, so I did a load of laundry. So it takes 2 cycles on the washer part, and then it takes 2 cycles on the spin part. So it's 4 cycles total. So you gotta put your water in there, let it 15 minutes, empty the water, put fresh water in there, run for 15 minutes, let that drain, and then if you fill this full, it won't all fit in there. So you got to do. So I did a pants, a shirt, and a couple towels, those little hand towels there, and you put that on spin for 5 minutes. So you got run this 2 times, run this 2 times, and you literally on my EB3A, it's only 268 watt hour. On the EB3A, it goes from 0 to about 60%. I sent it down to 55. But you can get a good load, maybe 2 loads off the EB3A. I don't know how low it goes before it shuts off. I've never done that test. And so I used the 200 watt panel to charge up the EB3A. And then if we look at what I produced today, so this is the graph, and I installed the 400 watts up on the roof about in September 20th. That's 09. So about the September 20th, that's when I put the 400 watts up there. And you see, a couple days I produced 1.8 kilowatts. Another 1.8. So we go into October. And it takes a while for it to think. In October, there are some days here I didn't have anything. I don't remember why. I don't remember what happened there. Yeah, I don't remember what happened. But then you can see. So that line is the 1.5 kilowatts. That's a 2 kilowatts. So, I produced 2 kilowatts on that day. But that's, and then this is going to be November. I think right after Christmas, I took the panels down. It was nice and warm after Christmas. Yeah. So it's all November. So November 3rd, 4th, I was producing 2 kilowatts here, and then the sun, whatever. Then we had some no sunny days there. So you see probably from what's that there? That's half a kilowatt, 1 kilowatt. Yeah, so I would say probably starting on November the 14th. It was all cloudy, not really a whole lot of production of anything. And so I was using the grid power. At that time, only my refrigerator was being ran off my batteries. So every day or so, or 2 days, the grid would be charged. The VEVOR would charge up the batteries from the grid. We're looking in November. So a whole month of December. A whole month of December. you see me, there's not there, but yeah, there was, um, yeah, so, yeah, 700 kilowatt, 700 watts. And then the 28th is when I wasn't forced, but it was going to come to me having taken the panels down, so I just volunteered. And then on January, that's why I was putting the panels down there every day. And that's what I was getting every day. I was getting 860. I didn't do so much in February. This app's okay. I mean, I'm not really pleased with it. It's okay. And I stuck them out every day and got 1.8 on that day. But then on the February 13th through the 26th, I didn't do nothing with them. 2 days there. The rest of the month, I did some stuff with them. And then in March, I didn't do a whole lot in March, I know that. Hope you guys are having a good day. It's supposed to be nice and rainy next week. Some good storms rolling in, not too much in this area. So there in March, I put some out there on the 12th. And then the 21st. And at the end of March, I produced 1.8 there. So I had them out there last 4 days of March. And I think I didn't do nothing in April except for today, I believe. Yeah, just today. And I produced 1.5 kilowatts. So it's just being lazy. I just don't want to, it's much easier putting a 200 watt down there instead of, because I gotta break. Yeah, it's not really a hassle, but I really don't have to. So when you don't really have to, then you really don't. So what I'm doing is, what I'm really thinking is putting those panels back up on the roof, and instead of having them angled at the sun, I'm just going to have them flat. They're going to be about a 5 to 7 degree angle because the roof is on that angle. I think that roof's a 7 degree slope, and I'm going to put them probably on that roof in the middle of it, or probably I can put it on that roof there in the middle. So I don't know. I don't know what happened or actually what was going on. I just know that the owner was saying something about the panels to me. And with him, when he says something to you, even though he might say he's not worried about it, or he might make a comment and say, well, I'm not mad about it, but he is. When he brings something up, it does mean something. He tries to play it off like it doesn't mean anything, but when he brings something up, even though he's talking about the panels, he said it doesn't bother me, and he said something. I don't know, somebody got a hold of him, or I don't know what happened exactly, but he brought it up. He says, yeah, they don't bother me. You can take them down anytime. I mean, they're not whatever. You know what I'm saying? So when he made that point, even though he might have said, well, after I took him down, say, hey man, I already took those panels down. I did them first thing in the morning because it was nice and warm that morning, the end of December. It was nice and warm. It was like in the 50s in the morning time or something stupid. So I climbed up there before I went to work and took him down. And I told him, hey man, I had the panels took down. He said, well, you didn't have to. Well, but he brought them up, so I did. Because you could see them from the road. You coming from Lafayette, heading north from the south. If you look up, you see them. And so Terre Haute's kind of funny on, I don't know exactly what happened, what's going on. I think he was worried about his insurance going up, or his property taxes going up, because in Terre Haute, there's the star of the show. Yeah, she's in heat, so yeah. So in Terre Haute, if you have solar panels, your property taxes go up and your insurance goes up. So if they're sitting out here portable like this, they can't do nothing about it. So I'm thinking about putting them back on the roof, but they're going to be, show what I'm going to do. I'm just going to lay them flat, and they're going to have that natural 7-degree angle. I know that's not optimal. I know that's not good, but I don't have a choice. I don't have, whatever. So you see how this bracket overhangs the panel quite a bit, okay? But on my 100-watt panels, the bracket doesn't overhang at all. So it just doesn't overhang. So therefore, I can go up there and I can put it'd be sitting flat on here. So there's going to be, nice little air gap. So wind can go underneath here. Rain can go underneath here. So when I can have a board, because I got hose there on top, so I can literally mount which one is tied out? Yeah. So this bracket has to come off. It'd be just that bottom bracket. And so this just like I can mount a piece of board on the bottom. Well, on the top. It has to be on top. Actually, I can leave that on there. I don't have to take that off. So I can mount, on this one I don't have to. I just put a sandbag up over it. A couple sandbags on each corner, and then they're cheap. So therefore, a sandbag, something heavy, box of, then a rocks or something. Now on this here, what I'm going to have to do is get a 1x2 and mount it to there, and have the 1x2 stick out like this. Okay, and then when the 1x2 is sticking out, then I can put something on top of it to hold it down. That's what I'm thinking about doing. You're not going to see it from the road. Only time you're going to see it is if you have a drone, or you're looking, these guys here who have the 2-story buildings here. You look out the windows here and you can see the roof. So that's the only time you're going to see it. So I have that option I'm thinking about doing. Then put everything on these mats, so because it's a flat roof. So I put these on these mats, so they're not going to do anything, hurt the roof. Or I get down below the stairs here and clean out the whole stairs down there, because I have tires down there, extra tires for all these vehicles. I got a bunch of Jeep parts I just don't really need. So I can just go down there, clean that out, secure that door down there, and just haul those panels in and out. Instead of trying to come clear up and down the stairs, I just, because the opening door is right down there. See it right down there? So it'd be just, walking around here and put them in there, and there you go. I don't have to worry about it. Easier than carrying them up and downstairs and walking them through the house. And then I possibly could have my youngest daughter could be moving in for a little bit in June. My boyfriend is graduating college. Where's my socks? He's going to be a nurse, RN or something. And so their lease is up in June. He graduates in May. And he's moving back home, and she lived in with him once before at his house, and it wasn't a good situation. So she might have to move back in here for a little bit until he can find a job and they can get their own place again. So and I won't be home. That's stuff in and out of the house. So and try to wake her up and stuff. So because that's a 7-degree natural slant, and I know that's not ideal or perfect, but here in the summertime, it's going to be at that's here in the summertime. That's what the slant has to be at. It's roughly 10 degrees, I think, or 13 or something. So they're going to be totally flat. So they're not going to really produce. Only reason I produced so much solar a day was when I put my panels down this morning, I had them facing west. So they were directly in the sun first thing this morning. And then same thing with the 200 watt panel. Yeah, the 400 watts, the 100 watt 4 panels are eco-worthy. Bought them with the kit for Amazon. They sell all 4 up for like $179. So it was pretty nice. The brackets, I had to buy the brackets. They're bigger brackets than normal, and I think I paid $100 or so for the brackets. But so when I put them down here this morning, I had them face, because normally I just had them facing south. And so, when the sun's coming up from the west, and they get solar, but not direct solar. So around 10 to 1, 10 to 2, that's when they really get good solar. But this morning, because they don't use the driveway on the weekends, so this morning I threw them straight out there in the sun. So what I'm thinking about doing is I have a cord for the 400 watts, because this cord here is literally a 50-foot cord. That cord right there, it goes to that cord that's 50 foot, so I can run it out the window, have it run out the window down here. I tuck it into that little gap right there, run it in front of the stairs and down, and it goes out about 4 foot into the grass. Now I have another 10-foot extension cables, so I can throw out there. So what I can do is stick it right about there, my 400 watts right there, and then I can chain it to the grill down there. Chain it to the grill. And so that spot right there, they get sun all day long. The poles are not going to be in the way. Now you might have some shadows from cables, maybe. I don't think so. Not right there. And I do right here a little bit, especially in the winter time when the sun's a little bit farther out that way. So I do have that. Bring them down or bring them out from the downstairs, set them out there, tie them up to the thing. But the only bad thing about having it there is because it looks like the grass needs cut. So I have no idea. He has an employee here. The employees needs hours. So that's when they do that. And then I can take the cable and I can put it in that crack, and then it's going to have to come up out that way. What I could do, you can find those hard plastic that's made for that, or I could use one of these mats here, one or two, and throw it down there and use the grass out there. It'd be kind of exposed. People will see it. As of right now, my Jeep's in the way. Nobody's going to know except for people walking by. But when I use my Jeep to go to work, that's going to be exposed even more. So it's one of the couple ways. I can put it back on the roof. At least the 400 watts. The 200 watts, I just probably go ahead and just keep. It's not hard to put it in and out. And I don't have a cord anyway, long enough for the 200 watts. Because I had everything set. I mean, it's literally it's this wall right here. It was just above that wall, so both my cords reached pretty good. But I only have one that's really the 50-foot one. All right, guys, this is long enough video. I like to talk, but so I gotta figure some way to get those panels at least cleaned up downstairs, or stick them out there. I think I'm gonna stick them out there. Because right there would be a perfect spot. It's I have sun until 5 o'clock right now, and I can't put them up there and that, just too far to go. But right there, I can run my cord around that crack or something, and you can run it right out there to the panels. As long as he doesn't have to cut grass that day, he should be fine. Nobody uses this area. You can see where we walk. Yeah, you see the paths in the grass where everybody walks. So, all right, guys, you have a good day.